Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Stellaris, the absolutely impossible run. Where last time, we embraced virtuality and, bloody hell, did that have a positive impact on the Empire. Our science has exploded, attacks are just flying in, we are going to be caught up to our neighbours in no time whatsoever. So okay, that's a nice sexy science base right there. And today we're gonna build an industrial base to match, because as soon as my homeworld becomes an ecumenopolis, oh bloody hell things are gonna start getting sexy. So, all of that, excellent news, but okay, there is one potential downside, which is, I can't help but notice, the year is now 2272, meaning, basically, absolute chaos could erupt at any cocking moment. Still, bare minimum, one more thing we did pick up last episode was the Galactic Community. So, okay. As a result, we've now got a much better view as to, yes, what's going on all around the galaxy. And the Galactic Community is great because, yes, it does let me see pretty much immediately who are, like, the big dangerous people on the galactic stage, and I can't deny, I'm immediately seeing some of my old empires here in particular. Okay, the Infinite Pond is apparently the third most influential empire in the galaxy. Oh yeah, there they are, hanging out on the other side of the galaxy, nearby to the Sniveler Friendship, who, look pretty big, but I'm pretty sure I just saw, yes, they're not doing so well actually, they're definitely towards the bottom with me, unfortunately. Then we've got the Almeta Syndicate, who are doing very, very well indeed. Obviously, the Romans building a lovely empire right next door to me. Tenets of Tabby, I will admit, not doing so well in many ways. But here's the critical thing here, which is, I am not nearly as far behind as these numbers might have you believe. Because, okay, sure, this guy's got diplomatic weight, 4,300, next to my 1,100. But look at that. Most of that is fleet power and bonuses to diplomatic weight. His, pops, economy, technology, 300, 400 thereabouts. Pretty much bang on the same as me. Like, in terms of many metrics, we are keeping up with the biggest empires in the galaxy right now. In fact, we could do a lot by simply, sending over a diplomat to represent us in the Senate. So, okay, you know what? Rune Emery, you, sir, have an interest in architecture, which is useless right now, but in theory, might be useful in future. So, yes, you can be welcome to the Empire, because a second official costs, like, nothing, basically. Also, as I think I forgot to point out last week, because seriously, virtuality just comes with so many stupid benefits, yes, our leaders are now also virtual. Basically just meaning, one, they're better at basically everything, and two, they never die. Because, they don't have bodies or anything anymore, they're just data, so every leader will now just live forever. Though honestly, yes, I'm delighted to see the most powerful empire in the galaxy is the Democratic Macaran Confederacy. So, xenophile, materialist, basically friends next door. This is excellently good news. So okay, let's talk planner here, which is, we need to start expanding, and I know you're thinking, John, no you don't, you're wrong. After all, you're playing virtual, John. The entire point is playing with a small empire that gains giant bonuses, and I think that's not true. Like, virtual absolutely can play really, really tall. Like, challenges where you try and be only in one system, etc, etc. 100%, but if you think about it, the real power of virtuality is you can just create pops out of nothing. Like, is it better to have two systems where everyone's gaining plus 125% bonus to their resources, etc, etc, or the alternative, having two additional planets you could just fill up immediately and still have a plus 75% output to all jobs, and I think it's the second one. But the key is that we've got to expand sensibly. No tiny worlds, they've got to be a good size so I can fit as many people and jobs on them as possible. Which brings us to my next target, the automated cocking dreadnought, who is extraordinarily rudely currently camping on top of, yes, two decent sized worlds that my robots would love to be on. So okay, It's time for us to build a fleet that can take down the automated dreadnought, and, okay, this guy could be a bit on the nasty side, but luckily, we've got some new tools in our arsenal that can help out with that. All we need to do is celebrate Zarkland Day, and the Fallen Empire will send us a few ships to help out. Meanwhile, frigates and their torpedoes, they do bonus damage to bigger ships, and more as the ship gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And the automated dreadnought, a single very large ship, you are very vulnerable indeed, buddy, to this precise type of weapon. So, begin producing more cocking frigates, please. Meanwhile, excellent news from the Senate, as it always does. Yes, we've immediately decided we're going to create the galactic market. So, okay. Basically, I am not a trading empire, and as a result, I should not be the home of the galactic market. And yet, simply by virtue of the number of pops I've got in my empire, I might have a chance of, getting to host it anyway. Also, funny old thing, so, a new Astral Rift just opened. Or, it became a scar or something. So, right, I should start, exploring these things at some point. But, more importantly, okay, everything is suddenly happening at once. This is brilliant. Binary Motivators is complete, meaning I've now got 3 machine modification points to add into my species. And I think we might want to look at that straight away, though blimey, we've got 20 churks in the Empire. That is more than I was expecting, to be honest, so, okay. Let's have a look-see as to what we could do to you, my friends. Because yes, a particular note, we could get rid of high bandwidth, which would be really good, because right now, Empire size is mainly coming from pops, and we are adding to that with high bandwidth, which is definitely a problem. So we could dump that right now, meaning yes, we've now got 1 trait pick left, and 1 trait point remaining. Meanwhile, luxurious here. Honestly, that doesn't matter anymore, because roboticists don't matter anymore, because we don't use those to make our pops. We simply create pops using virtual magic, so that one can kind of just stay, to be honest. And speaking of which, right, mass-produced can also be taken away, because, once again, mechanical pop assembly speed just became completely cocking irrelevant. And seriously, Virtual just opens up so many dumb opportunities to modify your empire, because say, by virtue of being virtual, I gain 90% to pop housing usage. Housing will never be a problem again. So, if I wanted to, get some more trait points in a hurry, I could give myself a bulky, for the simple reason that, 10% more is completely cocking irrelevant to me. Here we go. If I wanted to, I could use that to, fund efficient processors. So, literally, every job getting yet another 5% out of it. But that's not what I want to do today. Instead, I want to completely reverse what we just did. Instead of, even more empire size from pops, I want to lower that down by another 10% with streamlined protocols. So, oh flippin' yeah. That's looking a bit better. Once we've got that in play, empire size should go down a lot. And that's feeding straight through into, tech cost, tradition cost. That's important to keep under control. And now what we're gonna do is take that template and apply it to the entire cocking empire. And thanks to my incredible science, that's gonna be done in under 2 years. Meanwhile, in terms of, astral actions, right. Currently, my astral threads capacity is stuck at 500, meaning I can't do the physics thing anymore, because that's got more and more expensive over time, so there's literally nothing I could do but create more Astral Scars, which I've now done, so that's good, I suppose. Okay, I feel like there are too many Astral Scars around our empire. This is starting to get concerning, because I don't know what they do or, if they might be bad on occasion. And okay, we will get to that in a minute, because yes, the only scientist I could send in is my archaeologist. For the simple reason, council people aren't allowed in, they're too important. So, right, we'll get back to that as soon as we're done, with all the archaeological dig sites, which, cocking finally, we might be shortly. Okay, I would say it's probably time to address the elephant in the room. Ascension perk number 4 we unlocked last episode thanks to virtuality, so okay, how to explain this precisely? Once upon a time in Stellaris, there was only really one way to win the game, as it were, which is basically to, wait for the crisis to show up and then beat up the crisis. Congratulations, you've saved the galaxy, huzzah! But, in recent years, that's changed a bit actually. There are now other ways to potentially win the game, such as, for example, out-crisising the crisis. Like, if you succeed in destroying the galaxy before they can, well, you kind of win by default, don't you? Now, there are multiple ways of doing this. One is a Galactic Nemesis, where you become a gigantic supervillain and basically take over the galaxy, kill everyone, etc, and that's not my style, oh no. No. But what about Cosmogenesis? Which is basically, yes, the mad Science Ascension perk. Time, gravity, and space are the fundamental cogs that make up the clockwork of reality. If we can learn to manipulate them, the universe and its secrets will be ours. So, okay. This does two big important things. Number one, it's a really good way of getting a dumb amount of science. And that's what we're going to be using it for, primarily. But also, as a backup, it's not plan A, but it's there, it does potentially give us the opportunity to blow up the entire galaxy and thus win the game by default. So, welcome to the Crisis tab, though to be honest, Crisis is overselling it right now. We're just engaged in a tiny amount of mad science, so yes indeed. Right now, the fact we're engaged in mad science is apparently slightly concerning. No one's going to cause too much trouble, it's all going to be fine, don't worry about it. But yes, just by virtue of unlocking Cosmogenesis, we get a whole bunch of rather cool stuff straight away. Number one, we might be able to start unlocking brand new Fallen Empire buildings, so super advanced structures to power up our worlds. And it's not just the planets either, we can also power up our ships, so the technology for dark matter power. So alright, advanced super reactors and whatnot. And advanced logic meanwhile means yes, 10% bonus physics for free, mega flippin'-nificent, and on top of that, we start gaining a brand new type of sub-science, basically mad science, or advanced logic as we call it if anyone else asks. So basically, yes, we gain this via all sorts of different bits and pieces. Every technology that we research, we gain a bit of advanced logic. Magnificent. I could gain more by potentially, yes, picking up some Scalarium vassals, mega flippin'-nificent, build science nexuses, that would be great, get the community to back my mad science, that would be beautiful too, and then there's, the other thing. Wetware. The synaptic laser megastructure, which, if I were to build it, could potentially be utilised to create a gigantic robo-brain where organics could be plugged in and their brains could basically be converted into science juice, but don't worry about that. We don't need to be thinking about that just yet in the slightest, alright? And on top of that, way more wholesome science is also about to become available. New insight technologies from looking at the pre-FTL sorts, and yeah, some of these technologies, by the way, can be cooking amazing. Meanwhile, some of them are trash, so right, I guess we'll see what we get. And speaking of wholesome technology, right, I think we might cooking finally have finished digging up every archaeological dig site in the Empire, with the final one being, yes, the Precursor event chain that finally took us to that lovely holy world of Pristine Jewel. Which has immediately triggered, here we flippy go, right, I can't remember if I've even done this Precursor event chain before, but here we go. We picked up a Gruner distress signal, despite the fact that yes, we were pretty sure they died like centuries ago. And here we go, conventional research is also ticking on in, which does conveniently, yes, feed straight into mad science too. So, slowly but surely we can start moving in the right direction, unlocking more and more exciting new technologies. Just, this is not something I want to be prioritizing immediately. Like, not entirely, and you might be confused about that, given this is the way I might potentially win the game. And the reason for that is, yes, as you go down this chain, people start getting more and more concerned about the mad science you're doing. And if right now the galaxy says, hey, you're kind of tinkering with space-time, stop it or we'll come in and stop you, I wouldn't be able to, stop them from doing that. So, yes, we need to, just do our mad science nice and quietly until we're capable of defending ourselves. Okay, so, you know how I just said, like 10 seconds ago, we don't want to be rushing up cosmogenesis too fast? Well, I can't help but notice we've immediately drawn the tack, though it's helped us move to level 2. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to fucking regret it, but, okay, we're not going to be like, a big existential threat to the galaxy or anything. After all, hitting level 2 gets me even more advanced buildings, even more advanced ship components, etc, etc. Oh, meanwhile, while I wasn't paying attention, right, I think one of my scientists went into the Astral Rift. I mean, right now he's a very good archaeologist. I feel like archaeology and exploring the Astral Rift, that's like, kinda similar in a way. Like, I feel like he should be getting bonuses to this. Oh, and here we flipping go. Species modification is already cocking complete. Meaning immediately, Empire sizes started dropping quite significantly. And that is really, really good news. And you know what? We can help that even further because, hang on over here, over on Welcome, yes, now we're taking more Ascension pokes, we can take more Ascension tiers too, making this planet better and better and better, and also less and less Empire sizing. And pretty much everyone lives on this cocky planet, so, right, increase that to tier 2, though yeah, we need even more flipping Ascension perks, I think, before we could do any more, right? Yes, I'm pretty sure that's true, so okay, Empire size goes down again, meaning technology is getting cheaper. And it's really, really important that, yes, we do actually get our pop size modifiers down when it comes to Empire size, because, yeah, fun thing about virtuality, now we're just sort of creating pops all the time. Every time I build something, pops just get created to fill the void. Now, as we've said before, this is amazing in a way because every single pop I create basically just generates a free unity. But it also slowly knackers consumer goods, it hits Empire size, etc, etc. We need to, yes, in particular, get Empire size from pops and moving in a positive direction. Meanwhile, inside the Astral Scars, so, right, we've got, like, somewhere, not 100% sure where Astral Scars go, like, another dimension, another galaxy, no cookie clue. But we found a really nice planet. Is it big though? Because if it is, just send the cookie colony ship in, we will colonize the damn thing. So okay, plenty of flora, we've got swollen molluscoids, lovely, and a weird pink haze. Okay, just have a poke around, see what you can find, buddy. And speaking of Empire size, which yes, we really need to be paying attention to right now, okay, there are other things we could do too, such as for example, yeah, systems and districts can be made cheaper, but on top of that, planetary build speed plus 50% from these construction templates, and do bear in mind, now I'm virtual, my pop growth rate is basically a function of my build speed. Build speed is pop growth, and if you know this game at all, you know pop growth speed is everything. So all of a sudden, planetary build speed is everything. So we've touched on the tropical habitat, wherever the cock we touched down beyond the Astral Scar, and okay. Weird amber-coloured gas, etc, etc. Herds of bulbous, lumbering slugs slowly crawl through the jungle. Okay, so giant slugs. Not sure I approve, to be honest. Maybe nuke this planet, I'm not sure. So, okay. Eating contentedly, sleeping on the nutrient-dense soil, etc, etc. So by the sounds of it, no natural predators. Examine the fauna, examine the pink gas. Okay, give the slugs a poke, see what we can learn from them. Oh, meanwhile with the whole Gruner business, right, well we can bring that into the Empire, no problemo. And yeah, looks like there's some decent science systems we can have a bit of a poke at here, so, Gruner Prime. Okay, that is not good to settle on, though. Oh! I say it's not good to settle on. I mean, sure it's an irradiated nuked wasteland, but it's big. And I'm quite good at settling on, irradiated nuke wastelands. I'm a robot who lives inside a server. What do I care about radiation outside? So, we've traced the Gruner distress signal to its source, uncovering a crumbling Gruner research facility, hanging in orbit of an otherwise long-abandoned planet. The facility is reaching critical energy failure, having survived for millions of years on an extensive network of solar panels and decaying auto-repair systems, all of which are now approaching terminal status. Shockingly enough, scans of the facility are revealing the presence of a single life form. The crew have dispatched an away team and are ready to report, so... Alright, we've got ourselves a thing in a tube. Pincushioned by nutrient tubes and critically failing life support systems lies one single organism, the last Bale, miraculously still alive, surrounded by the sludgy remains of other specimens in a row of cracked and leaking vats. Owing to our extensive previous archaeological studies of the species, we should be able to attempt communication with the last specimen. So okay, we've got an ancient thing to chat to. So a visitor, can it be? But you are not the ones who put us here, though you came as the alarm sound. Have you come to give us peace at last? And, okay, possibly, but I'd like to know, what the cock's going on precisely? When the burners came, entire colonies were silenced before the danger was known to us. Like a limb gone limp, nerves cut suddenly and totally at the base. And then we lost the next, and the next, and the next. One by one, their voices left the chorus. We lost our others, their silence deafened us who remained. Can you understand, visitor? We could not bear to hear more agony. The burners were swift, like you, swifter in fact, and before we could withdraw, they'd set us all aflame. All burned to ash and the air filled with that grey agony, the dust of our lost. So, yes, this was like a plant hive mind that at some point was completely burnt to nothing. And yes, even the concept of itself is somewhat confusing to this thing because it's the last survivor of, a hive mind. So okay, it's a bit disorientating. Would you like to join our empire, by the way? And no, we've lived too long in this wretched state. Now we long only for an end. Though first, would you tell us, we've been sealed here for so long, blind to orbit this room, watching the stale air slowly wear the station down to its metal bones. Does our kind still live? Okay. Not really. I think we found, some non-sapient devolved ones dotted around the archaeological dig sites, but, not really, to be honest, no. And maybe that is best. And alright, the machine pumping mysterious fluids in and out of the creature's body begins to sputter and hiss. It is clearly on its last mechanical gasp, and the Bale will perish without it. Silence, yes. At last it approaches. We welcome it as our brethren did long ago. Farewell, Peacebots 2.0. May your kin endure less agony in this world. And, okay, we will. In fact, we've got plans for your stupid irradiated home system. Oh, and here we flipping go. We've apparently taken that thing's corpse and added it to our relic cabinet. So, okay. Passive effect, pop growth speed up by 10%. Literally useless, we're robots and we don't care about that anymore. But, if I activate this thing, 3000 unity as usual, new Bale life seeding, granting the ability to turn one non-ecumenopolis, non-hive world, non-machine world, okay, into a Gaia world, you say? I enjoy that, that's presumably supposed to be an amazing thing that turns this world from useless into amazing, but, okay, for us it's just a very mild convenience. We'll be using ever so slightly less resources once we get this planet down, and, speaking of which, size 20, that's good. And speaking of Unity, right. Finally time for us to, think about Tradition Tree at number 5, and, this is where things get a bit, fuzzy. I always planned to take Discovery up front, Prosperity was likely going to be second, Virtuality was obviously going to be number 4. Supremacy, we kind of jumped into a bit early, but it was good to get it done. Now getting into, highly questionable. There are a lot of things we could do here. Even though we're not the biggest traders in the galaxy. I like Mercantile. Mercantile is powerful, if only because it lets me, convert my trade value into Unity, which is a lot more useful than just yet more cocking energy. So, yeah, that is tempting. an expansion is kind of interesting too, if only because, yeah, hang on, we've got ourselves empire size from planets and systems down 25%. That is good. That will help keep our empire size under control, but I'm going to say, for now at least, harmony is what I'm thinking of, because, yeah, immediately pop upkeep down 10%. That's good straight away, because we've got a lot of pops and we're going to have more soon. And this also, once again, helps with empire size from pops, and by the end of the game, I would like that to be, you know, minus 100%. Like, I would like to eliminate empire size from pops. That would be amazing. So, while harmony is not, like, you know, the best thing in the world for me, because, yeah, say, leader lifespan, that's irrelevant to me, though getting rid of leader negative traits, that would be nice, to be honest. I think it's worthwhile, if only because, yeah, planetary ascension is going to be more powerful when it's done, and also cheaper to do, so, yeah. It's not the sexiest tree in the world, but I'm gonna take harmony. And okay, those giant slugs in the Astral Scar, the reason they're super chill and whatnot is, that weird pink gas is making everything chill. And that gets us a giant pile of society research. Good. So okay, time to get our new colony down, and, yes, given this used to be like, you know, the Gruner planet, and currently it's a radioactive ruin, but we're gonna fix that, and you know, in general, we go for nice named planets like Welcome and whatnot. How about Salvation? That's a nice name. Oh, and this is just cocking irritating. We didn't get the Galactic Market. Instead, it's just inside the Quasavalivian Authority. That's the dicks right next door, isn't it? Oh, but perfect timing. Our colony ship is literally jetting over to this new world right now, and our build speed just went up by 50%. And even better, yeah, empire size from districts is down too, which isn't like, you know, the biggest problem in the world, but could potentially become bigger over time. Meanwhile, in the council, right, we are ready for the biggest council we've ever had. We can now have a Minister of State, and no, that's awful, or Speaker of Parliament, be flipping beautiful. So, okay, Rune Emery, our chappie over anti-Yas, the Space UN. You can also be here, which would be a good thing because, yes, more jobs just means leveling up faster. Oh, yeah. Oh, flippin' yeah. Now we're starting to cocky get somewhere with, you know, tier 2 plasma accelerators. Though, yeah, that's going to eat into exotic gases, so over on Mining a World 01, yeah, just to get some more cooking exotic gas refineries down, that's your job, okay? You guys refine gas. And okay, I think I see what's going on over in the Astral Scar, so yes, I've now got choices for how to proceed. I can do something that is more, well, difficult, but really what that means is slow, and as a result safer, but will take longer to do, or we can just dive in directly, which is faster, but might go a bit wrong. So, you're pretty good. You can probably do, yeah, the safe option pretty quick anyway. Here's another new one for, yes, my previous empires interacting. The Pax Romana has formally subjugated the tenants of Tabby, so, the Roman Empire is getting pretty bloody big next door, actually. And you know what? This is really quite good news for me because, yes, Tabby was definitely in a defensive alliance with the Larchaks. And the Larchaks, and this is, quite frankly, weird to see, they're equivalent fleet power to us. Like, you know, probably the Romans kicked their ass recently and whatnot, but okay. We might finally be building up enough power to actually, you know, be able to consider making some aggressive moves here. Ooh, and as for, yes, the Astral Scar McGibble, so we went digging for that mysterious pink psychedelic gas, but then, stuff got weird. The Earth started moving as if it was alive. The harvesting tool was rapidly enveloped and then destroyed. Okay. So it's possible, yes, this planet's like, you know, a living thing. Which we should therefore be careful about, because we literally saw that. Like, you know, that was true for the Tianki planet too, and we killed that by mining into its brain. So let's not do that a second time. Oh, but far more important than anything else. The great work is almost done. In just a handful of days. Come on here, and our Relic Worlds is now an ecumenopolis. And an ecumenopolis is a truly spectacularly powerful thing. Because every single district here is worth a, quite frankly, stupid amount of jobs. One district of the factory arcology, that's 6 artisan jobs. Alright, versus 6 metal workers, a magnificent. Every single residential being worth 24 housing and 9 clerks. And do not forget, those 9 clerks represent bonus 9% to all output everywhere. And then we've got the leisure arcologies for entertainer jobs. So, okay, honestly, I think we're okay when it comes to, yes, cooking amenities actually. We are fine in that regards. And then we've got administrative arcologies. So, all of a sudden, 9 cooking bureaucrat jobs. So, we've got plenty of minerals coming in right now, but it's time to start that kicking up a bit. Because in less than a year, thanks to, you know, the ridiculous number of planetary build speed bonuses you can see right there, we could get another arcology out. So, that's going to be done so quickly. And that is going to be a lot of cocking alloys. In fact, you know what? No. Let's just get, like, 3 of them down right now. Oh, and here's something I wasn't expecting, by the way. I think we've got, you know, another renowned paragon showing up. So, hello there. You're a commander, apparently. Do we need a commander? Like, you know, I guess it probably wouldn't hurt. I was just saying we might go to war at some point soon. So, okay, you, sir, are a warrior with advanced weaponry and armor and whatnot. So, okay, if he is on the council, defense platforms are a tiny bit stronger. Honestly, fine. Cyborg, so, right, you know, like being virtual, but not as good, obviously. Then we've got a Supreme Warrior, so, okay. Really, he's like all about being a general, in fact. He makes armies much stronger. I'm a soldier in service to an ideal. My order works to end oppression and free the enslaved. For this, we spill our blood, so, okay, I'm going to be honest, it's entirely possible, like, in the future, we might be sending you to other planets in order to enslave them so that we can ship them over to our brain juicing facility to produce mad science. But, okay, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Welcome aboard! Oh, and here we go, a harmony. Let's get, yes, that lovely 10% empire size from Pops in place. So, yeah, we've been making good progress on that. The problem being, our Pops are rising. Like, really cooking fast, constantly. So it's a bit of a losing a fight at the minute. Okay, and speaking of big changes on the planet side, right. Salvation is now down. And right now, okay, I don't have quite enough unity to... Actually, you know what, I say that. Right, now I do, good. So, in 720 days, this planet's going to become a Gaia world. So, you know what, sure, why not? Though honestly, maybe that's not, you know, our absolute tip-top priority. Get, you know, a mineral purification plant down, a couple of mining districts. Those are done in, like, 3 months. That is ridiculous. Okay, you just wait your turn, please. Wait your turn, because, yes, this place is going to be set up in no time whatsoever. And actually, speaking of building bits and pieces... Rune Emery, my friend, you like architecture, so if you're the planetary governor, okay, planetary build speed goes up even cockier faster, so that's down to 95 for a new district. I could build 4 districts a year, that's so dumb. And just to confirm, right, the planet was a living thing, and those lovely peaceful slugs were basically, yes, placid livestock it was keeping, so, okay, this got weird and creepy. Let's just, like, go. Right now, please. Oh, and here we flippy go. Welcome is about to get its first brand new foundry arcology. Meaning the population just immediately jumps from 120 to 126 because the jobs just, you know, begin to exist immediately. And thereafter, alloys just jump to 217, though minerals are falling. So, right, despite the fancy name, Salvation may have to do, like, you know, a lot of cooking mining, actually. Function is just mining outpost 2, but we're gonna give it a better name than that, damn it. Because just like Welcome, the moment mining jobs become available, we can fill them. So, okay. our pop numbers are going to start exploding because now every time I create jobs, we're just gaining more pops. And those pops are generating Unity, don't forget. And oh yes, we're not done yet, by the way, because all of a sudden, with alloys flooding in, we can afford to upgrade everything. All of our orbital rings, unlocking buildings and whatnot. Meanwhile, the economy's strong enough for us to just, buy any alloys we need to fill the gaps, meaning we could probably at this point just say, hey, how about, even cocking more arc furnaces? And if the economy ever starts looking a bit dicey, well, that's fine. We could just upgrade our Dyson swarms, because when you've got alloys, functionally, you've got everything. All of a sudden, you could just accelerate. Megastructures are being built, megastructures being upgraded. All of a sudden, oh bloody hell, things are about to go bananas. I've now got the science and the industrial base I need to start really making things happen. Which is good, because the year is 2281, meaning basically at any moment, something bad could happen. I don't know what it's going to be. Seriously, I always forget the moon's called cocking skid mark. It's ridiculous. I don't know what it's going to be, but something really, really bad could kick off any cocking day. So join me next time to find out what precisely it's going to be. So hopefully you are looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd. And this has been Stellaris. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
This is the face of death, okay? This is what my sudden death looks like. Do not engage before we arrive. Do not engage. What are you doing? I specifically said don't. Oh, no.
No, John.
Oh, he likes that. The Romans touched me.